Hi everyone. So let's take a look at solving quadratic equation using the quadratic formula. Now, if you're one of my students, you're going to need to have that memorized at this level, intermediate algebra level. And there are different ways. There's the Pop Goes the Weasel song, which I think I did in a previous song. There's also, well, there's a song I like to do in my traditional class. It's really cool. Someday if I get a chance, I'll have somebody film it and I'll load it on YouTube, but it's really cool. It's the whole We Will Rock You, the negative of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, the quadratic formula. It's really cool when you get a whole classroom of people cheering it. It's awesome. Alright, well, let's take a look here though. So we're going to solve 1/6 x squared minus 1/2 x equals 1. So let's distribute a negative 6 through, to clear out the fraction first of all. So we'll go 6 times my 1/6 x squared minus the 6 times the 1/2 x, and that's going to equal 6 times 1. Okay? So when we do that, we of course have our fractions that are going to basically be gone. So now we're looking at x squared minus 3x equals 6, right? So we're going to use the quadratic formula. You need one side to be a 0. So we're going to have x squared minus 3x minus 6 equals 0. And we're going to assume that this is a 1x squared. All right, now our quadratic formula, it's like I said, it's negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Sometimes people only put the fraction bar over the radical. So yeah, it's all over 2a. And our a is the 1, the b is the negative 3, and the c is the negative 6. And you just plug them all in and crank it. So let's see, it's the negative of a negative 3, so it's a positive 3, plus or minus the square root of b squared, or negative 3 times a negative 3, that's a positive 9, minus 4 times a times c, so 4 times 1 times a negative 6. 4 times 1 times a negative 6. And it's all over 2 times 1. 1 being the a term. And then you just simplify that. X equals 3 plus or minus the square root of, let's see, 4 times 1 times 6, and this will be positive, right? Because a negative times a negative is a positive. So this is going to be 9 plus 24, and it's all over 2. So this will be x equals 3 plus or minus the square root of, let's see, what would that be, 33? All over 2. And if there was a perfect square that we could have sucked out of that square root of 33, we would have pulled it out. As it turns out, 33 prime factorized is 3 times 11, both of which are prime. There are no perfect squares to pull out of there, so that's going to be our answer. Right, and that's basically, in a nutshell, how to do the quadratic formula. That's all there is to it.